Hello everyone, welcome to the another video. In this video, I am going to discuss following topics around environment variable. The topics are what is an environment variable, how to access the environment variable in the code, and how to test the code that uses the environment variable. First, let us understand that what is an environment variable. From the name itself, we can understand that it's a variable that are specific to an environment on which the application is running. An environment variable is just like a normal variable that is used for storing the value, but the way its value is set and accessed is completely different as compared to a normal variable. Let us understand this with an example. Let us assume that I have a Java application, and in the application I have declared and defined a variable with value 10. I took this application and deploy on a Windows operating system. In this scenario, the environment is Windows operating system. And when I execute this application and try to access the value of the variable, in return I will get value as 10. I took the same application and deploy it on a Linux operating system. In this case, Linux operating system is the environment. When I try to run the same Java application and try to access the value of the variable, I will get 10 in the response. So this is the behavior of the normal variable. Now let us assume that on the Windows operating system, I created an environment variable with value as 11. And access this variable inside the Java application. When I run this Java application and try to access the environment variable, as the environment variable is defined on the Windows operating system, I will get 11 as a result. I took the same application and deploy it on the Linux environment. On this environment, this particular environment variable is not defined. So when I try to read this particular environment variable, I will get null value in the response. And this is the behavior of the environment variable. The value of the environment variables are completely driven by the environment on which the application is running. To access the environment variable in the code, we are going to use a class called system, and inside this system class, there is a method called getEnv. This particular method takes the environment variable name as a parameter. And if the environment variable is defined, the value will be written. Otherwise, the same API is going to return the null value. Now let us look at the environment variable that are defined on the Windows operating system. Open the command prompt and type set. Using this command, you can get the list of all the environment variables that are defined on the Windows operating system. Along with this command, I'm going to pass the character P for filtering. So now this command is going to return the list of all the environment variable whose name starts with P. So these are the environment variables that are defined on the Windows operating system. Let us try to access the value of this environment variable from the code. So in order to access the value of the environment variable, we are going to use the system class. System.getEnv and then specify the name of the environment variable. And let me run this class. So this is the value of this environment variable. Let me take the same piece of code and execute on a different environment. and in this case I'm going to use the Linux environment. On this environment, the value of the same environment variable is this. Now let us try to access the environment variable that is specific to the Windows operating system. So this is the value of the first environment variable and this is the value of the second environment variable. Let me take the same piece of code and execute on the Linux environment. On the Linux environment, there is an environment variable path that is defined, but this environment variable is not defined, and that is why we are getting null value in return. Another difference between the normal variable and the environment variable is the way the value is manipulated. If I have a normal variable like this, and if I want to manipulate its value, I can simply invoke any operation on it. But this kind of operation is not possible with the environment variable. I think almost all the application use environment variable for deciding the conditional logic to be executed for a respective environment. That's all for this video and thanks for watching.